guys, so this is another video that I was really planning to make more towards the start of the month, the start of the new year, but again, better late than never. So this one, I know like everyone has beaten this horse to death, but I'm doing a video of things we should leave behind in 2020. Some of them are straight up serious, some of them are like half joking, but I mean also kinda serious, so yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. So first thing on the list, I think we are all in agreement. I think we'd all like to leave COVID-19 back in 2020. Yes, I know, the first year rolled around, we couldn't expect it to just like go poof, disappear just because a new year started. It'd be great if it worked that way. It'd be fan-fucking-tastic if it worked like that. But, alas, that's not how the real world works. But we can hope that this will be the year that it ends. Not that the world ends, that COVID ends, but yeah, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it? We can hope. We can hope. But, kind of piggybacking off of that one, a thing that I think this past year really has like highlighted and illuminated just how fucked our mentality towards it has always been, and how much we should really re-examine this, is the practice of going into work sick merely because we don't have enough sick days accrued, or because we're scared we might lose our job if we take sick days off when we actually need them, or because we're scared we're not gonna, like, earn enough money this month because we took time off because we were sick. We really need to re-examine this fucking practice and do better with it, because honestly, this is not a thing that should be a thing. It should not be something where we feel like we have to, like, cover it up and mask it, like, if we think we might be sick, but we can tough it out anyway and just go to work anyway, even though we're gonna totally infect everyone else there if we do that. This shouldn't be a thing. This shouldn't even be a thing. This should be something that is, like, a no-brainer, that if you're sick, stay home. There's paid sick leave for a reason. Obviously, don't abuse the system, but why? Why are we still struggling with this in 2021? It's so stupid. I really hope that maybe some legislation will come that helps regulate this, because it's really messed up that it's pretty much traditionally always been like this, even though it's always been a problem. This extends to schools as well when they open back up. Like, honestly, like, this is not something that should be held against a person. I mean, there was always those kids who was like, oh yeah, perfect attendance all year. It's like, yeah, their parents sent them to school sick, and you know it. And you know damn well other people got sick because they came to school sick. So fucked. It's so fucked, and really needs to be re-examined and reshaped and reformed. Another thing we should leave behind in 2020, hopefully, and be able to do better with once the pandemic is, like, under control, I think we're all in agreement we would like to leave isolation behind. I am saying this as somebody with intense social anxiety. I am saying this as somebody with agoraphobia, and yet, you know what the pandemic did to me? You know what it did to me? It really hit home just how for granted we took the little things, and how much that, you know, when things go back to normal, we should not be self-isolating ourselves like that the way that we were, and, like, not even thinking anything of it. When we are able to be together again, we should be. Like, for fucking real. Another thing we should leave behind in 2020 is the weight that we all put on during quarantine. Don't tell me you didn't. Don't tell me you didn't. You're lying if you claimed you didn't. We all did. Okay? It came with the territory. I think we should all collectively leave guilt behind in 2020, because honestly, in this modern world, we should not all be living in the same guilt cycles that are so toxic and unhealthy to our mentality and emotional state of being. There is no need for that. It is not constructive. I mean, we shouldn't have to feel guilty every day of our lives over things outside of our control. And I know damn well I am far from the only person. I know that probably every person here watching this feels guilty for something that they shouldn't feel guilty for. At least one thing, if not a myriad of things. I have a feeling we all have like a mountain of things we feel guilty for that we really shouldn't. We should try and move past that. We should also leave lack of discipline behind in 2020. Because I think that was another thing I found really highlighted in the quarantine, was that people left to their own vices without any structure apparently have largely, I mean, there are outliers here that are exceptions to the rule, and you know what, if you're one of those outliers, bravo to you, but most of us are not so good. Most people without that lack of structure also have a lack of self-discipline. It just goes right the fuck out the window. I think we kind of all need to collectively get our shit back in order. I know, I sound like everybody's mom right now, but like for real. It's time to pick yourself back up. Come on. I think we should also leave self-limiting beliefs behind in 2020. I mean, I feel like a lot of what holds most people back from doing so many things in life are just the self-limiting beliefs that we hold. The ones that, you know, we're too scared to do the big scary thing because we don't believe that we can do the big scary thing, so we don't even try it, and therefore the self-limiting belief just won out. And therefore it continues the cycle of, well, I can't do the thing because I can't. And you believe it, and because you are in this cycle, you continue having these thoughts, you continue feeding into them, you continue believing them, which continues to feed into more self-defeating and limiting thoughts. It's a vicious cycle. And as somebody who challenged herself to do the big scary things, even in the middle of a fucking pandemic, and succeeded at it, I feel like I am in a very good place to tell you that, yeah, you know what, a lot of people's issues, a lot of the things that hold them back are themselves. It's not all the circumstances in the world that we want to blame it on. It's yourselves. And if you can get outside of that mindset, if you can push yourself to do the big scary thing and to force yourself to keep doing the big scary thing, odds are you can do the big scary thing. Let's see, what else should we leave behind in 2020? I think we should leave overscheduling behind in 2020, even though how many of us were overscheduling shit in 2020? Probably not too many, but in general, it's a bad habit that I know a lot of us have had for way too long, to where the work-life balance is so fucked. It's so fucked. We should try to be more like, what country was it that has like the best work-life balance in the world? Was it Sweden? If it wasn't Sweden, it was one of those countries right around there. We should try to be more like them. Have like a much better balance, not overwork ourselves to death. I mean, that goes for schools too, actually, because we have such an unhealthy relationship with how hard we work ourselves. It shouldn't be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. There are countries in the world that are proof that it does not have to be that way. But because we all feed into it, we all just blindly accept it, that's why it is the way it is. We should leave comparing ourselves to others behind in 2020. And this is something that, there was a quote my sister said to me a couple years ago that has stuck with me, and I know she didn't invent the quote, but I had never heard it before, but it's so true. And it's that comparison is the biggest robber of joy. Holy shit. Just how much I felt that when she said it. And I have tried to, like, keep things in perspective and keep that in mind, like, ever since then, because it's so true. And it goes towards literally anything. So I think if we all, like, tried harder at not comparing ourselves to others, I think we'd be a lot happier all around and feel a lot more comfortable in our own skin and with our own abilities and talents and things. Let's see, what else? Oh, we should leave fear behind in 2020. I know, easier said than done. Easier said than done. But wouldn't it be nice if we could do the thing? Even if we just left some of it behind. Obviously, yeah, it's impossible to leave all fear behind, but to stop letting fear win. As someone with massive anxiety disorders, it is so empowering when I don't let the fear win. And I do the thing anyway. This kind of goes with the other similar one, but I mean, yeah. I think we should leave lack of inspiration behind in 2020, and this goes towards so many different things as well, but I mean, especially among creative types, how many times have you just blamed things on writer's block, artist block, for why you haven't even tried to make anything in fucking forever? The writer's block is not real. The artist block is not real. If you actively try to retrain your brain to find inspiration in everyday things around you, you will never run out of inspiration. That is a fact. Granted, yeah, there are certain days where you're feeling in the zone more than others, but I mean, there is no reason you can't push yourself to put pen to paper, or a paintbrush to paper, or whatever your mode of creativity is. No reason you can't do the thing. Again, self-limiting beliefs, is it not? It's so easy to blame it on this unseen outside force that doesn't really exist, and that's what makes it so easy to blame it on, because nobody can quantify it, nobody can prove is it or isn't it a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. And I know, I'm gonna have so many people in my comment section going, bitch, please, it is totally a thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's your fucking laziness. And I speak as somebody who definitely gets in this trap too. So, I hear you, but the more you force yourself to do the thing, even when you don't feel inspired, even when you don't want to do the thing, you train your brain like a Pavlovian response to be more equipped to do the thing when you sit down to do the thing. If you give in to the, I'm not feeling inspired, so I'm not going to do it, this is where writer's block or artist block or whatever comes in. And then you train your brain to just not feel inspired. It is like, you can train yourself out of it just as easily as you can train yourself into it. So, let's make this the year that we train ourselves out of that shit. Let's see, what else? We should leave unattainable perfection behind in 2020. Because perfection's not real. It's not. It is a social construct. It is imaginary. No matter what you view as perfect, even if you had that thing, you would still find something else that you found yourself feeling imperfect about. It is an impossible goal to achieve, and hence the quote that I constantly keep on my wall in the background of my videos all the time by Michael J. Fox himself. I am careful not to confuse excellence with perfection. Excellence I can reach for, perfection is God's business. I remind myself of that quote so fucking often because it's very true. I think we should leave behind putting plans on hold in 2020. I forgot for a second. Which year are we talking about again? Again, if 2020 taught us anything, it's that tomorrow is guaranteed to no one. So putting plans on hold of, oh, someday I'll do this, someday I'll do that. It's very easy to say it so often until all of a sudden your time on this planet is up and you never did the thing. And now it's too late. Or just the time window of time that you had to do X thing when it was still relevant, it passed. You missed the boat. It happens all too often. It happens to all of us. So, I think if we stop putting plans on hold and start making plans realities, probably be a lot better off for it. Now, this next one, I think, might be kind of contradictory to some of them that I've said before, but I think they can coexist at the same time. But I think the bad habit of saying yes to everything and everyone, even when it's things that we shouldn't have said yes to, we need to do better at maintaining our boundaries and not letting people walk all over us and talk us into shit that we didn't want. I know that sounds contradictory towards some of the other things, but just hear me out on that one. Here's a big one that I really, really, really want to leave the fuck behind. Possibly more than any of the other ones. Cancel culture. Fuck cancel culture. I don't buy into that shit. I've never bought into that shit. I never will buy into that shit. Once upon a time, cancel culture, when it was actually warranted with people like Harvey Weinstein, okay, back then, yeah, that was merited. What cancel culture is today, oh my god, you basically breathe wrong one day at some point in your life 20 years ago, and people are gonna bring that shit up forever and go, you should be canceled for it. It is the stupidest fucking thing, and I am so over it, and I am so ready to leave it behind. Just like I am ready to leave behind the shaming people for not jumping on the bandwagons of cancel culture. Fuck that. And all the people are like, oh, well, if you don't cancel da-da-da, we can't be friends. Fuck that. That is so stupid. Like, no, we need to leave that crap behind. It had its time. As with most things in life, it became a bastardized version of itself. It's time to put it down. Retire it. We're done. And kind of in the same vein as that, the expose culture, where people, like, it's like they live to try and expose people for one wrongdoing, like, 50 years ago. Like, oh my god, it is the stupidest shit. Don't you have better hobbies to entertain? Like, for fucking real. Like, all you're doing is spreading more negativity in the world. We do not need exposed culture. I am so over it. Then for one that is kind of a silly one, that some of you will fight back hard on this one, and that's your prerogative if you want to. I would be more than happy to leave TikTok behind in 2020. I never got the appeal of TikTok. I think it's stupid. It's way too ADD for me. I do not get it. Isn't it basically just Musically reskinned? I thought that was stupid too. Let's retire it. Vine retired for a reason. It's like the little brother of Vine. Like, seriously, put it out of its misery. It's terrible. And this one might be more controversial, given which side of the line you're on. With this one, you'll either agree with me hardcore, or you'll be one of the people butthurt about it. But the Facebook Memories feature. Sometimes there is a proper use for it, but 99% of the time that I see it used, it's just people regurgitating the same posts year after year after year of not even, like, momentous stuff, but of, like, stupid shit. We didn't care that much the first time around when we saw that post. We've seen it 10, 11 times, in some cases it feels like now. For real, make some new content. Like, do not rely. Look, that's the better part. That's the better part. The people who do this, very rarely do they even make new posts. It's just like the repost function and the Facebook memories functions. That's like all they post. Yeah. And people wonder why Facebook is dying. Facebook's not the only one that does it, though. Instagram has begun doing it too, probably because they're now owned by Facebook, and it's equally as stupid there too, but yeah. Like I said, there is a time and a place. There are a small handful of posts where I'll agree that sure, you know what, you see that one pop up, go nuts, repost it every time it pops up. But 99% of the shit that I see people repost with those, I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? If you feel like I'm calling you personally out, odds are I am not personally calling you out if you think I am talking about you. It's not you. I can pretty much guarantee it is just a collective societal thing in general where I'm like, why is this still a thing? Like, can't we, like, if we retired that, people might be more, I don't know, inspired to make some new fucking posts. Just a thought, but anyway. So here was one that I don't know if it's a regional thing, I don't know. It seems like only a very certain demographic wears them that I won't call out, but oh my god, those stupid fucking bonnets. Oh, you know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that look like a fucking shower cap. And people go out wearing them in public. And they look terrible. They look stupid. I don't even get why they were a thing in the first place, other than maybe they originally existed to sleep in, to, like, keep your hair contained in there. I could understand that, if you slept in it. Take it off before you leave the fucking house. You look ridiculous. You look like you're walking around in a shower cap. Take it off. Hats exist for a reason. If you want to cover your hair, wear a hat. Hats are nice. I have nothing against any kind of hat. But that one specific stupid-ass type of bonnet that I see left and fucking right lately, oh my god. That trend needs to die. It needs to die quickly. Please, please let it be left in 2020. And I am not speaking of the people wearing them. I'm speaking just of the bonnets themselves and that trend. Before anybody takes it out of context. Here's one that I think everyone will agree with. That we should leave in 2020. Onision. Enough said. Okay, so I thought I only had, like, one that was fashion-based to complain about, those bonnets that really need to go, but I thought of a couple more. So, you know those really ridiculously long acrylic nails that, just hear me out, not just long. Those I could deal with. But the long ones that have shit glued all over them to be 3D, what the actual fuck is that? Like, I understand for, like, a magazine spread or a photo shoot where they're trying to be artistic. Okay. But I've seen people wearing these in real life with nails no shorter, bare minimum. These aren't nails anymore. These are full-on claws now. With, like, at least an inch tall 3D crap all over them. I'm like, first off, that's not cute. Secondly, I'm gonna be the person to ask it, how do you even wipe your own ass with those ones? Like, or do anything else for that matter. Like, why? Why? No. That trend, like, I think we need to retire that trend. It's bad. It's bad. And it's only gonna get more extreme if we don't nip it in the butt, so there was that. But then I remembered another trend that I've been seeing more and more of lately, and I get it that in public we have to wear masks and literally the only part of your face anymore that's showing is your eyes. I get that. Everyone's wanting to play them up. I get that too. I too have been doing that. I get that people are trying to add even more drama by wearing fake lashes. That's great. That's fine. Most of them are very pretty, even the really extreme ones. Except the ones that are so extreme, I've literally seen ones long enough to not just reach, but surpass the fucking eyebrows. Bruh, if I am feeling a small gust of wind every time you blink, your fake lashes are too long, my dear. Like, why? Why are we wearing these? Why are we wearing these? I'm not wearing these, but just a societal, why? I have seen, probably in the past 3 months, more instances of this than I can count on my fingers. I would feel like it'd be a unicorn to find one instance of that in the wild, but I have seen so many instances of it to where I'm like, oh my god, this is the stupidest trend, almost as stupid as the bonnets, but for real, I have friends that are like straight up professional drag queens that perform. They don't even wear lashes that extreme. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Trim them, please. Please, you want big dramatic lashes, I get it. Knock yourself out with normal big dramatic lashes, but if they are higher than your eyebrows, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. Oh my god, okay. Back to the serious ones now. Now that I've gotten those out of my system, I really, really hope, especially since we have a new president now, that can we please leave the over-radicalized political groups on both sides of the line in 2020? Please. Please. This should not be this big of an ask. It's been 4 fucking years of this shit. Can we please retire that now? It's gotten so bad and so toxic on literally both sides of the line. Like, can we just hard reset on that one? Not to mention the people who can't hear opposing opinions without, like, melting down or blowing up, like, the total snowflake types that only wish to hear their own echo chamber of ideas. Can we retire that too? Like, please. I unfortunately share a house with not 1 but 2 of those, but can we please retire that and leave it in 2020? Please. Doomsday scrolling. We all need to leave that one behind. For real. I get it, we're all scared of the pandemic, and it's very easy to get sucked into the abyss of the doomsday scrolling. Be it on social media, on news websites, hell, even right here on YouTube. It's so easy to get sucked into that vortex, but it is really bad for our mental health. There is a line between being informed and then just becoming unhealthily obsessed with the doomsday scrolling. I have known friends who have had to, like, temporarily take themselves off of social media because it was the only way to stop it. This is a problem a lot of people are having right now. We need to, like, get this back in check. Leave the doomsday scrolling behind, please, and thank you. And finally, we should leave behind all the toxic people who wronged us, who didn't support us, who weren't kind, who weighed us down. Leave them behind in 2020. And while yes, there are a handful of people that come to my mind immediately on that one, I do mean this on a societal level as well, because I am sure that every one of you watching this also has at least a small handful of people that fit the bill for that one, who I'm sure you're also more than ready to leave behind in 2020. So, this became a much longer list than I was intending on it becoming, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing, because realization is half the battle. So, anyways, what are you guys most ready to leave behind in 2020? Leave it down below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, or your thoughts on any of the things I mentioned in this video. Either agreeing or disagreeing, it's cool. I don't mind differing opinions, unlike certain individuals. So anyways, that's it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below, make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, everything and more. It's all down below, and if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, until next time, bye-bye.